Good afternoon. BBLOTT Podcast Studio is in the building. Your host, Montana, co-host
Vernon Bird Tyus.
All right. So let's get on to the announcements. Glad you are here joining us today on this fine Wednesday. So basically we had a group home training class last weekend. So if you missed it, it is not too late to come to the class. There is 3 classes left for the year. So it's 1 more in October. There is 2 more in November. So if you're interested in doing group home training with the state of Ohio, get your state of Ohio license, the next class will be October the 19th. So the next class is October the 19th from 11 o'clock till 5 o'clock. Please bring everything you need, lunch, breakfast, dinner, whatever you have in this class, because this is a all-day event. So if you're looking to get into the group home training class, give me a call, 216-978-0386, 216-978-0386. BBLOTT training course has already started. So if you interested in learning about 501c3s, learning about the for-profit ventures, the class has already started. So it's kind of too late to get in those classes, but we are doing workshops and we have a seminar coming up, which is November the 8th, 9th, and 10th. The place we're going to have it is going to be announced right now. We're going to give you that information next week. But it's going to be the 8th, 9th, and 10th for Financial Health and Wellness Seminar. If you want to learn about financials, insurance, business, 501c3s, for-profits, non-profits, all that, and above, trusts, and I think grants. I'm trying to think of what the panelist is going to be. Grants, and real estate. You want to definitely not miss this seminar coming up in November. If you're interested in registering or getting tickets to the seminar, also give me a call, 216-978-0386. Grant classes, grant training. If you are interested, and let me get the flyer up real quick, in grant writing, there's going to be a 3-day grant writing clinic. It's going to be here at East 200th Street. It's going to be here in Suite 103. If you're interested, I think those classes might be already booked, but there is going to be another one coming up in November. You want to give me a call, 216-978-0386. It is going to be free for BBLOTT members that's already have their membership up to date. So if you're a BBLOTT member, it's free for you guys. If your membership is up to date, if not, then come and inquire about the grant writing class. But the one that's taking place on the 12th, the 13th, and the 17th is coming up. You can text Miss Dr. Rhonda Turpin at 5521, 216-571-5521 to see if any more spaces is available for this weekend grant writing class. It's a 3-day session. You need laptops, your computers. You can't really do it on like your phone or on an iPad, so you definitely need a laptop to do this, and you have to have your 501c3 already up and running. For-profit people can come as well, but she prefers to have 501c3s because the money, you get more money for your business. So that's going to be the 12th, the 13th, and the 17th. This weekend is going to start at 11 o'clock in Suite 103. On Thursday, they're going to be meet at Tech Hive. So scratch that. It's going to be Tech Hive. It's going to be 65th in Euclid. When you come to the grant writing, or you can call us, she's going to give the specific address on where it's going to be located and what time it's starting. And I think it starts at 10 a.m. on that Thursday. So you're going to have a busy week dealing with grants. So everybody's been waiting for this moment. So it's actually here about the grant writing, and come and participate in that. You have any announcements you'd like to bring out?
I can emphasize on that seminar.
Okay.
You start talking about that seminar. That is the wealth paradigm strategy that talks about the 3 asset values, or the 3 asset classes that give your life financial exponential growth. So when we start talking about that wealth paradigm, we're going to be teaching how to increase your asset value without restricting your budget. I mean, I know that sounds bad coming from a financial advisor, but a lot of people get so stuck on budgeting, they forget how to grow wealth to even increase their lifestyle. So now we're not an organization that's going to be teaching you how to slim down your budget, shave off a lot of things that you like to do to enjoy yourself. You still have a life to enjoy. So we're going to show you, if that's what you like to do, you want to increase your lifestyle, then let's increase the assets that's going to create income for it. The other bullet point is how to pay off loan faster and build wealth at the same time. See, a lot of us has been in that rat race. So we're going to also have a breakout session where we start talking about how do we use one vehicle that's going to take care of paying off debt and growing wealth at the same time. All right, leveraging, doing proper leveraging, and not doing all this linear stuff where I want to earn money at a job and then split my paycheck in 4 or 5 different ways. One is to pay off some debt, some is to pay off or to put in my savings account, and the other is to pay bills, right? We're going to eliminate all that mess. What we're going to do is we're going to start buying things that's going to help give velocity to what should happen. And here's the other thing. I know we was all in school. I know I took an accounting class, and in that accounting class, they always talked about the disadvantages of a C corporation. Well, in the book, I disagree with it. It's not a disadvantage because if you know what to do with a C corporation, then you can get all the advantages. I'm pretty sure Walmart, Home Depot, and all these other companies are not registering as a C corp because it's a disadvantage when they start talking about double taxation. So we also going to talk about how do you tax yourself using a corporate strategy, right, to put away more money for yourself, your family, and your legacy. And the last one, how to quickly improve your credit score. I'm gonna leave that up to you.
Leaving it to me for it.
That's your
you was
thing.
On the road. Keep going.
I mean, that's what we're gonna do, but that's your breakout session because that's what you do on a daily basis.
So basically, it's gonna be an awesome seminar workshop. If you're interested, like on day 3, you're gonna be doing a workshop of getting actually your LLC or your nonprofit up right then and there in that workshop. So you're gonna learn about grants. You're gonna learn about what he just said. You're going to have different speakers or real estate questions. So if you want to come to Friday's event, that's the panelist board where you can come and ask your questions, how to do this and how to do that and get this done and how this is going to be working. Then on Saturday, they're going to be speaking. So they're going to be hammering it out, coming with the fire and the power on Saturday. And then Sunday, that's when y'all going to be working. Y'all going to be popping up y'all stuff, getting y'all businesses in place. Yay. So pretty much do not miss this seminar that's coming up. We're going to throw another one probably sometime next year. But the first one's always the baddest one. So come to the first one because now we have the baddest speakers in the land that's going to be in this seminar. Right?
Yeah, right. And one other thing. One of the breakout sessions is also going to talk about how to buy assets with little and no seed money. There's a couple different assets we're talking about. One is real estate, whether it's residential or commercial. But one of my best ones is how to do a takeover plan on the existing business, whether it's a bar, daycare, senior, what they call that, the last project we did, senior living.
Senior living, okay.
It was the senior daycare, adult daycare.
Adult daycare, yeah.
Yeah, that was the last project where you do the takeover plan with no seed money, as long as you got the proper corporate structure and the people are willing to give the docs up, taxes, business valuation, we can show you how to take over one of those businesses, help somebody retire with little and no seed money.
Right. Okay, so guess what, y'all? We have special guests in the building. 2 very special guests Vernon will be introducing.
Okay, well, as we talked about business, right?
Yeah.
You know, in my life, part of my business was the music business. And I always had mentors in the music business. And one of my mentors that has showed me a lot about the music business, where it came down to the arts or even the backstage or even the back office. And we used to call him, if you don't mind, the pink gangster MC Suave.
You know I don't mind with this pink shirt on.
Okay.
Without further ado, we got him sitting right here. What's up, pink gangster?
Man, I'm feeling quite pink today. I'm thinking pink. I have a rosy future ahead of me, so I have to think pink. You know, I once read that if you look in the history of pink, it had nothing to do with a woman. Back then, I think it was a neutral color or something, or might have been even a male-dominated color at some time. But as the marketers start stepping in, they have to separate things so we can make more money off of it. And then that's when the marketers stepped in and said, okay, we're going to make this one a girl color. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I ain't mad at stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this life is marketing. Everything is selling something. And I think the thing that I love that I think a lot of people don't know out there is that you buy stuff before you give your money to it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, you know, if somebody comes and tells me, you know, I look like Denzel Washington, it's up to me if I want to buy that. You understand what I'm saying? I don't need any money. I'd be like, You lying. You just trying to get me to give y'all my social security number tomorrow. I look like Denzel Washington. Come on, you know what I'm saying? So so buying is really actually you believe before you buy.
Correct.
So what you believe is already took the money from you before you even go to get the money. And that's what people don't understand. They think people think buy is money, and it's not. It's buy means you believe.
Like you're rich before you actually got the money.
I mean, that's why people used to say, I'm not buying that. I don't believe that these political people out here are really trying to, he didn't say nothing about I'm not giving them my money. He's saying that I don't believe what they're telling me. So belief is the precursor to before money. That's what people don't know that. And when you start to talk about all of this financial stuff, first of all, you're talking about what do you believe before we get to the money. Because what you believe is what motivates you to do whatever you do with your money. And the more you educate yourself properly, now you feel stupid when you do things that are improper, which actually helps you in the long run. You don't like it at first because I usually like to blow my money on this, but now I don't feel, my conscience is like, that's stupid. So at first you're mad, but as you start to let time go by, that mad starts to simmer down and you start to say, I've saved a lot of money last month. I can afford to go to Hawaii this month. You start to see the benefits. So then you look back and find out that all of that aggression that you had was the aggression of the crowd. Mm-hmm. See, the more you learn, the less you separate yourself from the crowd. That's all learning is. It's like, do you want to be in the crowd and know the same thing the crowd knows, or do you want to be a player on the floor? When you say, I want to be a player on the floor, well, you have to learn different things. Because in the crowd, you don't have to do nothing but yell, buy a ticket.
That's right.
Wear the jersey of another Negro.
Common.
And live vicariously through him. Because if you say something about that player, you said something about me. And we're about to be fighting we're going to be fighting up here. Because you just said something about Joseph Mott. You know what I'm saying? And that's actually a player who doesn't know me. But I'm wearing his jersey. And he looked at me once while he was running by. So I feel like he knows me. Because I was like, yeah, Jerry.
I know that the audience is saying, who is this guy?
My guy.
Tell me. She's right. Tell me. Our audience may not know Suave Goddi. Or they may not know MC Suave.
I am what they call a local rap guy.
Okay.
Who they call me Suave Goddi with D's, not T's. Because I tell folks I'm not Italian. But if you spell Goddi with D's, you get God, D-I, after that. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So my history started in Cleveland in the 80s. And I had a song that was on the radio back in the day, in the 80s, called The Pink Gangster. And I was in high school. And I was the only cat in the city who had a song on the radio with rap at the time.
What high school did you go to?
I went to, at the time when it came out, I was in Marshall. I was at John Marshall, the law school, fake law school. Because most of those folks needed lawyers who came from Marshall and they didn't become lawyers. So I say it's fake law school. Okay. So I went to the, John Marshall and my song came out. And that's where everybody knew me because I would go to the mall and my tennis shoes, my Adidas had taps on them, which I had learned that from the Puerto Ricans because I used to go to West Tech the year before, John Marshall, and the Puerto Ricans would be walking around. All you hear was click, click, click. And it was like, what is this noise? And once I finally found out that they were wearing taps on the bottom of their tennis shoes, I was like, my father from the old school, he got a bunch of taps. I went in with his bags, pulled out his taps. And I pushed them taps in on the bottom of my shoes, and every time I walked through the mall, click, 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 click. So, everybody know me. I was getting all of the dopamine and all of the attention back then. And for me to hang in this city from that long, from the 80s all the way to right now, and not be complaining, that automatically should hint you that I must know something. Because if you've been in Cleveland from the 80s and you're still here, you're either complaining or you know something. There's no in between because it was set up for us to complain because complainers make the best consumers. You know what I mean? A person that's complaining will buy anything. And when I say buy anything, going back to my original statement, they will believe anything before they spend their money. So complainers, I don't think that, it's nothing wrong with them because, complainers make, like I said, they make the best consumers and I'm selling something. Hey, I'm just gonna probably be a lot of complainers when I'm out here selling my Cadillac. It's gonna probably be a lot of people complaining about either the old Cadillac they driving, they want a new one. I'm here to take care of that complaint, or the people that's tired of Lincoln now they want to switch over to Cadillac. I'm here to take care of your complaint. So my thing is, I'm here to help people that's complaining, but with solutions. not by just rubbing stuff in their face like, I know something you don't know. No, let me see if we can help your complaints. So that way, at least you can complain about something different. You won't be complaining about Cadillacs no more. Now you can complain about your daughter and the guy she's dating and, you know what I'm saying, other life things, but you won't be complaining about Cadillac because I took care of that situation.
Now, after you finished with the MC Suave, we went to Suave Goddi. Tell us about the other saga with Spitbox.
Well, what happened is after my song hit the radio in 87, luckily I did not sign a contract with Reginald Bailey and the rest of those guys at the record label. That was my producer at the time. And I signed a contract, and I was in school one day, and I told, I got a contract with these guys. And somebody said, did your mother or father sign it? I was like, no. I was like, man, that contract ain't legit. You ain't 18 years old. I was like, oh, really? So it was on now. So when we went to make my next song, I went to the studio, and these guys had a full band in there. And if you remember back then, unless you was Stetson Sonic, that ain't what you wanted. It was a band. You wanted your music to sound sonic, like with beats. So I go in there. These guys got a whole band in there, and they playing some stuff. And I'm like, I don't like it. Man, we spent all this money on this band. I don't want no band. I want my producer to make my beats, to make me a beat for this song. Man, that ain't what we doing today. You doing? I said, man, my mother, I know I ain't even signed to this label. And I walked. And they just called me on the phone like, we're suing you for this and suing. I'm there cracking up because I know y'all ain't suing nothing because I ain't signed nothing. You owe us for this and owe us for that. And that was it for that. So I went and got a job after that because and the reason why all this happened because they weren't paying me. And I'd be out there standing at the bus stop with fly girls, and the drug dealers would be riding by honking their horn at my girl. And I was like, this ain't right. I need some money. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I had the epiphany. Money popped up. And then, so after that, I moved to Atlanta because everybody at that time was talking about Atlanta. And that's where I started to see how the game really moved. And I see it was different from Cleveland. And I felt I could come back to Cleveland and use what I saw in Atlanta in Cleveland. So I came back, and then that's when I came back, I just heard about Johnny O had a battle called the Lord of the Rings or something. It was a DJ battle and an MC battle. So I knew I came back like I needed, because I was raised on battle rap, because after making a song on the radio, people would try me, but they didn't know that because of Bango the B-Boy Outlaw and my man Sean Givens up at South High, because I went to South High first when I went to high school. After him tearing me up and then Bango tearing me up, everybody was paying for it ever since then. So even though I was this light-skinned guy running around the city, couldn't nobody do nothing with me because I would hurt their feelings by talking about their moms and their family and their friends and their faces and their clothes. And they couldn't do nothing about that because I was good at it. So I came back and threw a battle thinking about what I heard Johnny O threw. I threw it at the Sarah House. And when I made $500 for the first time, I was hooked. I was like, wow, we ran over to the Big Egg on the west side, had breakfast, and I was like, yeah, I want to do this again. So I started throwing battles. That's what led to the spitboxing thing, you know what I'm saying? But I as the years would go on from 90, because I came back in 92, 93, I was like, man, Cleveland ain't never had a weekly hip-hop night. So it was really hard on my mind, like we need a weekly hip-hop night so people can do these skills on a regular basis so they can hone their skills. Because I recognize that our town was just people walking around talking about how good they were, and then when you listen to them, a lot of times they weren't that good. I was like, how did this happen? It's because everybody was scared to tell everybody else they weren't that good.
Right.
So I was like, I need something where people can find out they're not that good. Then they can get good. And I knew we needed a weekly hip-hop night. A guy named David Velo Stewart comes up to me and says, hey, man, we're getting ready to film this movie called Hip Hop for Life. We want you to play the bad guy. Everybody says you need to be in this movie because you're this to Cleveland. I was like, cool. Q Nice, who at the time was doing a Black Poets Society or whatever at the Grog Shop or something like that.
It was a Grog Shop.
Yeah, so he played the main character. I played the bad guy. The movie comes out, it goes worldwide. Showing at Tower City, showing at Rock Hall. I walk in Blockbuster. It's all in there for rent. I said, David Velo Stewart did his thing. But it was about a weekly hip-hop night, the way they were pulling stuff out the bag and had people rapping off their head out the stuff out the bag. People were battling blindfolded and stuff. And in my mind, I was like, if this movie comes out, people are going to look at this movie around the world and say, where did they do that at in Cleveland? And when they go to check in, it was going to be, we don't do that stuff for real, and I didn't like that. So I imitated what I seen on the film to make sure that spitboxing or what he had did with that movie, we were really doing on a regular basis. And then from there, I wound up getting a cover of the Scene magazine. I wound up getting sponsorship from Scion Automotive on a regular basis. Like every month, I was getting 2 checks from Scion. I had my wife on the door getting the bread off the door. We started selling things. We just was capitalizing. And it was happening the same time we were where we were at, which was at the Hi-Fi. 500 feet from us was my man Columbus Woodruff. He was making $1 million situation with hot cards. With the printing. He had people, he was branding postcards so well that people were calling them hot cards. That's good branding because they're called postcards. But people were calling cards hot cards because of my man Columbus Woodruff from Cleveland Heights, who used to throw the boat parties with Kim Sellers. And then he met a girl who used to work at the Life magazine that we had in the city. And he hooked up with her, and they went and got with Veda and Son printers on the west side, and he started doing gang runs, which is where you just have a bunch of flyers on one big sheet, and he cuts it. He starts servicing the whole city. That started making him tons of money. Then he started doing the whole state. That started making him tons of money. Then he franchised it to other states. That started making him tons of money. And that's just how I watched the whole thing, because I was an insider. I was there I was in his house when he started it and was talking about what him and his wife was getting ready to do. So my whole thing is I'm like a fly on the wall with a lot of businesses, a lot of stuff, and that came through doing graphics, because as I was building my companies, I needed somebody to do graphics. So eventually I wound up doing the graphics for myself. From that, I wound up being with all the Jamaicans doing their graphics. So I'd be behind the scenes listening to them, how they were bringing a Beanie Man to town, and I was seeing how that worked. So that's how I got the Jamaicans to understand how that was working, and then being around people like Justin Ferguson, Ken Ferguson's son, who was throwing big boxing tournaments and all this other stuff. I was around him to get to understand that side. And then so I was around all of these cats just off doing graphics. So I was learning these parts of the game while I'm still a hip hop aficionado at the same time. And I'm just adding on to what they call at this point, I'm padding my numbers. Like LeBron, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, you don't have to play in this no more. Yeah, I'm just padding my numbers.
So you're the mega pioneer of this industry.
I'm the guy who, I tell folks, I didn't believe the hype, so I didn't run away. See, this is a city that thinks like a town that gets offended when you think like a city, because they look at you like you a city slicker. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're supposed to be a horse and buggy. Like my man, you're supposed to be a horse and buggy town. We just come here. This is all we do. We go to the little bar and we drink and then we go home. We ain't supposed to be doing nothing else. You know, you get to talk about, hey, we're starting a business. And look at you, starting a business. You old city slicker. You ain't from New York. You need to go to L.A., go west with that. This is Cleveland. That ain't what we do here. We just go to the bar and drink and brag about who bought their clothes from Mr. Alberts and you need to get you some more Gators. And I got 12 old cars. I only drive one. But when I die, I guess my kids will figure out what they're going to do with the other 10. You know, that's what they, you know what I'm saying? Right. But when you start thinking about growing things and building things and investment, they look at you like, oh, you old city slicker.
Right.
You need to go somewhere else with that.
Right. All right.
Can we hear a sample of your spitboxing or beatboxing?
Are you ready?
Maybe,
are you ready?
Maybe like a minute.
Yeah, it's a minute. Here we go. All right. Right now, I'm the man with the microphone. Anybody that's listening, get with me. I'll teach you right from wrong. You want to learn how to rap? I even teach you how to write a song. And if you try me lyrically, your life will be gone. Me, I'm the wrong cat to step to. I ain't even got to cuss you out. I just write on the board, F-U-C-T. For anybody that's listening, this is far from the worst of me, but it's just a verse from me coming at you that's listening. I kill any form of competition, and I don't care if you come from California or Michigan. I teach you discipline, disciplinary actions, break you down like fractions. And when I say that, I mean subtraction. Now, understandably, randomly, I come to see Bird. Reason why? Because he's part of my family. I mean hip hop, rip shop, get props. Whether it's Facebook, tick, I look at my watch. You know what this is? It's a wristwatch.
My man. Hey, it's the first time it was the second time we didn't have the hip hop business up on the arts business at this table, but the very first time we didn't have a pioneer. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. And my brother Randall in the corner. He's somewhat of a performer. But y'all don't, he doesn't speak. But as soon as we leave up out of here, he'll turn into a transformer. Start talking. That guy, Goddi. Goddi, you know.
We're going to have him back.
That guy, Goddi.
Oh, man. We're going to do a recap.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sum up. I got 2 good points out of you. It's a bunch of them, but one of them that with me very well, is that is installing the belief. Installing the belief is, it can be a bad belief for you, it can be a good belief, but that's the point is what really matters. It's the belief that my brother said. All right, and then it was the other one. You had another point.
Which one?
I should have wrote it down. You had 20 of them. Never mind. We'll get back
I'll
to
leave
it.
y'all with this one. Y'all will love it. Anybody that wants to succeed at anything, here's all you got to do is just keep the word work in front of you. The first word is homework. The next word is network. The next word is teamwork. And the last word is paperwork. Those are all words that Negroes in the hood are scared of. And they all have the word work in it.
That's what it was.
And there's no such thing as talk work. I just want to let some of y'all know, because I know that one of y'all that want to start talking, that's not work. That's why it's never been the phrase. There's no such thing as talk work. Homework, network, teamwork, paperwork. They're all words that Negroes are scared of.
My man.
All right, so
Recap.
on that note, we can't recap. I think we only got, 1 second left?
Too bad you got recap time. Go ahead.
All right, so recapping. We got this Saturday, Sunday is the grant writing class. It's going to be all the way to Thursday on the 17th. Get with us, 216-978-0386. The Miss Doris class will be the following weekend. Call me back here if you want to get into the 501c3 for-profit training class. Thank you for tuning in to the BBLOTT Podcast Network. I'm your host, Montana, co-host over here.
Vernon Berg.
And we will see you next Wednesday at noon. Peace.